Because in this day and age, the biggest and best advertisement is word of mouth.
Welcome to the Social Mojo Podcast, the place where entrepreneurs and creatives come to discover the secrets behind building a powerful, engaging brand without spending a fortune. Let's meet the host, Mr. Anthony Porter, your guide on this journey to harness the power of organic social media. In each episode, we dive deep into the strategies that work, sharing insights, actionable tips, and success stories from experts and trailblazers who've done it all. From planning your content with precision, growing your audience authentically, to monetizing your passion effectively, we've got you covered. So, whether you're just starting out or looking to elevate your social media game, stay tuned.
Have you ever scrolled through Instagram mesmerized by all of the photos, only to realize it has crickets in the comment section? Like everything has its beautiful images. Like you're looking at it and everything is just immaculate. Everything is gorgeous. It's beautiful. Sure, but something just don't feel right. Because see, on Instagram, you have to think. Likes and comments are more than just a, variety of vanity of metrics. They are a sign that you connect with the audience. You are building a community. You are doing what the algorithm guys want you to do. They want you to be involved. They want you to feel that they want you to be the Insta boss. Now, imagine, engagement really is not all what it's cracked up to be. And how do we know this? Or how do you go from the tumbleweeds to a lively comment section like that? How do you do it? Let me tell you something. It's simple. Because you come to the right place. Man, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Social Mojo Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Anthony Porter. And we are here to help you navigate through the evolving world of social media. Listen to me, man. I'm the guy that's going to help you understand why or how to differentiate the main question of today's episode. Does engagement matter? Does it truly matter? See, if you feel lost on Instagram's algorithm, don't worry about that. We've got you covered. Because this world of engagement is, what is it and why does it matter? And how to get all of those likes and comments rolling in. So sit back, enjoy yourself. Let's get to it. Let's get started. I hope you're ready, because I'm ready. And if I'm ready, you got to be ready. Let's kick it. Now, let's get down to business. We just tossed around the word. Well, I just tossed around the word engagement, right? So tossing that word around like it's some magical social media Excalibur. Think about it. Engagement. What does it mean? You have to really sit back. You have to think about, what does engagement mean? What does engagement mean to you? What does engagement mean to your profile? What does engagement mean to your business? Because that's all this is about. It's business. Without engagement, there's no business. There's no podcast. There's no, and we encourage you to engage. All right. So what is engagement? Engagement goes beyond just the numbers. It goes beyond the likes. It goes beyond the hearts, the emojis. Engagement on a post again, goes beyond the numbers. It's all about it's all about how activity, or excuse me, it's all about how active your audience is. It's all about how they interact with you. It's all about connection. It's all about how you connect with your fellow people, right? So think about that. You are trying to be involved, build a community. But in order to build a community, you have to engage, right? So by engaging, you building a trust factor. And with that trust factor, you become the authority figure. So you got to understand, likes are nice. Trust me. Everybody wants to see likes. Sure, but comments, shares, saves, and even DMs, those are the signs that people are stopping. Think about it. If someone leaves a comment, shares, or saves your post, your reels, and DMs, they stop it. They taking the time out to read what's going on, right? So maybe they want to start a conversation, or maybe they want you to start the conversation. It's all according to what you gonna do, what you want to do, how you gonna do, right? So engagement shows that your content is sparking reactions, that you're building a connection with your audience. We just talked about that. We just said that, right? You want to build a connection with your audience. It's not just a one-way street, though. See, when you post pretty pictures and you hope for the best, it's not how it works. So you have to engage. So now engagement comes in many forms. And as we sit here and we humbly talk about engagement comes in many forms. There are the classic likes, comments, of course, but Instagram also offers features like story replies, shares to your close friends list, and even saving posts to collections. You are trying to have information that you put out shared. You're trying to have information that you put out locked in so they can go back. The more somebody goes back, the more somebody goes back and looks at a reel or a post that you've made, the more the algorithm understands that you're putting out something that we call value content. So remember, engagement isn't just about numbers. Remember that engagement just isn't about the numbers. It's about a conversation you spark and a connection that you build. It's the lifeblood of any successful Instagram presence. So the goal is to get the likes, the shares, the comments, the DMs, the saves. That's the goal. You want to play this game with the algorithm. And engagement is very important, that you engage. You take the time out, you comment, you like, you share, you save. And once you do all of those things, over time, because remember, this is not a sprint, this is a marathon. Over time, you build up the trust factor and become the authority figure in your community. So I was asked this question just the other day because, see, we just talked about what is engagement. So I was asked this question. Was going back and forth with a friend of mine working on his social media profiles. And he asked me, he says, why does engagement matter? Excuse me. See, now that we've cracked open the engagement vault, let's talk about why it actually matters. And I told him, I said, this is why it matters. It goes way beyond just making you feel good about your follower count. Everybody wants to get to that level of having a ton of followers, cracking a million followers. But if you have a million followers and you have a product or a service that you're trying to sell and nobody is buying your product or service, that's a problem. Why? Because you're not connecting with your audience. You're not connecting with your ideal customer. Who you're connecting with is just a bunch of people who have been told, follow me. They see something, follow. They're looking for anything and everything to get their ratings up. So engagement is kind of like the Instagram currency. The more you have, the more the platform rewards you. But at the same time, it's the downfall because you can have a ton of followers, again, a ton of followers and no engagement. So without no engagement, you're not getting rewarded. You understand what I'm saying? Without the engagement, you're not getting rewarded. So here's one of the big ones. Engagement directly impacts the Instagram algorithm. Write that down. I don't care where you located at. Listen to what I just said. Engagement impacts the Instagram algorithm. A post with high engagements gets shown more often to users' feeds on the Explore page. You want to get to the Explore page. You definitely want to get to the Explore page. Now think about this. If people are liking and commenting and sharing your stuff, Instagram sees it as valuable content. I think I said that about 10 minutes ago. Let me think about that. I did. I said that. I truly did say that. I remember saying that. Because this is what makes sure other people see who you are, where you are, what you do, why they should follow you. That content is perfect, man. Like, if you make a post and that post has some type of value, that post hits home to someone, guess what happens? They start to share it with someone else. And when they share it with someone else, guess what happens? Now, all of a sudden, the algorithm picks up on everything. Now you become that authority figure, right? So trying to be the authority figure is perfect, but you have to have value. You have to have something of value in order for the algorithm to gut check you. You gotta have something of value. And having that value builds a loyal following. So you have a loyal follower base who are more willing to stick around, listen, engage with your future post, and maybe even become a brand advocate. Maybe they really going to go and say, hey, you need to follow homeboy, or you need to follow this thing. You need to be able to say, you have people who are out there ranting for you. Because in this day and age, the biggest and best advertisement is word of mouth. Excuse me. And when you are speaking about certain brands, engagement can work wonders for building a brand's credibility. Imagine Coca-Cola starting out now, or Pepsi starting out now. They're constantly posting, they're constantly engaging, they're constantly offering this, constantly offering that. Can you imagine how active they are or will be? Can you imagine when people are actively engaging with that content? It shows that they are interested in what you are offering. It builds trust. It puts them in a position. By putting them in a position, you become the leader. You'll become the leader in the niche you become the brand ambassador, the niche ambassador. You are now the authority figure. Now, good engagement can lead to a ton of organic reach. The more people that interact with your stuff, the more likely it is that others will see it, share it, comment, make mentions, do all of the good stuff. Everything that you want, everything that you need can be done if your content is good, but you have to engage. So how do you engage? Go get to that. I'm going to tell you how you engage. All right. So engagement isn't just about feeling good about yourself. So we're brainwashed. Wipe away all the schmuck. All right. It's about getting your content seen, building that community, and ultimately achieving your social media goals. So, what are your goals? What are your goals? Smart goals, rough goals, realistic goals, unrealistic goals? You have to be realistic about what you want to achieve. See, for me is as the podcast host of the Social Mojo podcast and as a marketing agency, social media marketing agency, it's my job. I'm here to help creators, influencers, small businesses start, grow, and scale their online presence organically without having to come out of pocket with paid ads to start. Like if you're starting up, you don't have the money. You don't have a budget. So you're trying to build a little budget, but your organic reach can be done. It's all according to how you do it. So you have to have goals. You have to set goals. And in order for you to meet them goals, you really have to set back and you really have to think about, am I doing this the correct way? So I was listening to a podcast the other day, and the guy said he posts 3 to 5 times a day. I've just been posting once, but I started this new Instagram page. You can go follow me. Social. So I started this new page, Social Mojo PC, which is Social Mojo Podcast. And it's growing. I'm following up people, engaging with them. But the question has always been like, am I engaging enough? So the other day I'm on Instagram and come across a post. It's a reel, and I'm listening to it. Actually, I was on YouTube, and I'm listening to it. And as I'm listening to it, my man said he posts 3 to 5 times a day. I'm thinking I'm only posting once. Maybe if I up my reach and start engaging a little more, everything will be fine. So that's what I'm doing. I'm starting to engage more. And I'm starting to post and make my reels and everything. So everything is going to work out perfectly for me. Everything is going to be fine. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is sometimes, people say, I post once a day. You're never posting too much. You might not be posting enough. But engagement helps to get to where you want to be. So another question that has always been asked as we get into the third and final segment, does a high follower count mean high engagement? So before we go head first into this engagement strategies, let's address a common misconception. Just because you have a high follower count does not automatically translate into high engagement. Let's be clear about that. Follower count can be a variety of metrics, sometimes inflated by bought followers, people going to her buying followers, people going to her going to Fiverr, spending 30, 40 bucks to boost their count. And this is just bots. That's all it is bots. Okay? That's all it is bots. So having that high count, all it is capping on social media. Now, there are people out here, that influencers. I know a couple people, a couple 100,000. Alex Hamazi is right around a million plus. His wife is around 1 million plus. Russell Brunson, Nehemiah Davis is getting close there. The hip hop preacher, Eric Thomas. These folk have a following. And I know for a fact that I've gone and listen. Nehemiah goes live, and when he goes live, he engages. So his stuff is not bought with bots. His bots is not on his thing. My man's is doing his thing, and it's just a way of, you have to understand. So engagement has grown over the year, and I've been following Nehemiah for a year now, and my man is doing his thing. So you have to pay attention. A lot of people don't want to pay attention. A lot of people don't want to be told how to do something because everybody think they know. I don't know it all. I've done the research to figure out how to do things and how to get to where I'm at right now. So when you have these ghost followers, you might make your numbers look impressive, but they're not liking, they're not commenting, they're not sharing. They're basically just social media zombies. That's tough. That's a tough pill to swallow for some of y'all. But here's the good news. A small engaged audience. Listen to what I said. A small engagement or a small engaged audience is way more valuable than a massive one that's silent. So focus on building a community of real people who care about your content. I'll say it again. Focus on building a community who care about your content. They're the ones who will drive engagement and ultimately help you achieve your goals. So don't get caught up with the follower count. Don't get caught up with the imposter syndrome, the shiny object syndrome. It's quality over quantity. You want quality leads over a billion leads, because a billion leads can be fake without engaging in anything. Followers is the same way. You want quality over quantity when it comes to building a truly engaging audience. So we have come to the portion that is the conclusion. So we've covered a lot of ground today. We unpacked the concept of engagement, explore why it matters, and just basically cancel culture out the myth of the follower count. Remember, engagement is all about building genuine connections with your audience, not chasing numbers. Building a connection with your audience and not chasing numbers. We got your back. Trust me, we got your back. So you have to understand, building this community of loyal, faithful customers not only helps you out in the long run, but the value that you get will help drive more people to you. Now, in future episodes, we're going to talk about some strategies, some tactics to help boost your engagement and turn your Instagram presence into a buzzing hive of activity. That's what we got to do. That's exactly what we got to do. But in our next episode, and I'm going to tell you exactly what the next episode is going to be about. In our next episode, we're going to create the ironclad strategy. I'm sorry. We're going to create it. We're going to make sure that you understand, strategies on engagement, strategies on content creation, all of the stuff that needs to be done, all of the stuff that needs to be understood, all of the stuff that needs to be said. So stay tuned, because everything that we talk about, those actionable tips, those strategies, the success stories, all of this coming. In the meantime, head on over to our social media channels. Follow us on Instagram at Social Mojo PC. Follow us at Social Mojo PC on Facebook and at Social Mojo PC on Twitter. We love to hear from y'all. Don't be a stranger. Let's build a community, because something that I might say might help you, and you might have an idea that I could talk about. And that's going to help you out. Because if you have an idea and I run with that idea, guess what happens? I'm going to let everybody know where I got the idea from. Also, if you subscribe to the podcast, my email will be in the description. So that way you can email me with any questions, comments, complaints, suggestions, and I'll get back to you. All right? Man, I appreciate you stopping by. Please do not forget to subscribe. We are on all of the streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Google Music, YouTube Podcast. We are there. All right? It's your man, Anthony Porter, with the Social Mojo Podcast, man. Until then, spring is here, the spring into action. Catch me again, lounging in the Insta Lounge. Peace.